There are 3 different zones in which people live in: the comfort zone, the stretch zone, and the stress zone. If we could show you a way to navigate through these different zones and create a healthy rate of personal growth, would that be of value to you? Well, stick around because that's exactly what we're going to be covering in this video.
Hey guys, welcome back to Victory with Sheldon and Leah. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 3 different zones that you exist in, whether intentionally or otherwise, and how they can affect you progressing toward your goals. If you haven't checked out our goal setting video and our why video, we'll put links to those. Go back and watch them. Start from there, start from the ground floor, and track along with us, and we'll grow together. So we'll be talking about the 3 different zones and how they affect your ability to reach your goals. So the first zone that people operate in, whether they realize it or not, and this is the biggest one because this is where you spend the majority of your time, whether you want to or not. And this is the comfort zone.
So this is the zone where, surprise, you're the most comfortable. Whether you're just chilling, not really doing much, or if you're doing something that you do every day and just know it like the back of your hand.
Yeah, this is where, Sunday afternoon, you got a belly full of food, you're ready to take that nap, you know what I mean? Put on your favorite streaming service. You just kind of living, life is good. You can kind of sit back, maybe take a little inventory of what's going on, how your week went, before, Monday morning blues kick in, kind of a deal. Everything's okay.
There's nothing wrong with this zone, except that this is the zone where dreams go to die.
Yeah, so picture, if you will, kind of zone 1, your comfort zone. Picture that sort of as your sphere of influence. It's where where you kind of have control over, you feel like you have control over everything that's within that little circle there. And in moderation, I'd say it's okay, but there are some downsides to it. What happens is, now we're transitioning to zone 2. This is where successful people sort of learn how to master how to maneuver within that circle. And zone number 2 is going to be your stretch zone. Stretch zone is going to be basically, if I could define it, pick like maybe if you watched our goal setting video and sort of those non-negotiable tasks, pick a couple of those tasks that move you towards your goal that maybe makes you a little bit uncomfortable, whatever it may be. Maybe if, again, I like to go back to the weight loss things just because it's easy to pick on, right? Maybe you're not comfortable going to the gym or whatever, or, X amount of times a week, or, you kind of feel out of place or whatever. But just kind of pick those sort of tasks that make you a little bit uncomfortable, but not too uncomfortable, right? And that's where you're gonna encounter your stretch zone. That's when you're going outside of your sphere of control and influence and kind of moving into a space where you don't feel like you have as much control. And what successful people are able to do is they're able to enter into that stretch zone in moderation, right? But in an effective amount, though, to where that begins to feel comfortable to them. Mm-hmm. So now their comfort zone looks a lot better than the comfort zone of laying on the couch and, with the full belly and taking a nap or watching Netflix, binge watching it till you're, blue in the face or whatever. Now it's looking a bit more like something active that's going to help you reach your goal. This is what I want you to do if you're tracking with this. Take a few seconds, pause the video, and write down 3 things related to your big goal, or maybe even your monthly goal, something smaller, something bite-sized, because we're talking about stretch zone. If we bite off too much, that's going to lead us into zone 3, which is what we'll cover next. So just a few little tasks, make you a little bit uncomfortable, right? Because this is your stretching. Growth isn't comfortable. That's kind of your paradigm shift for today, I guess. Growth isn't comfortable, right? It's, you picture like a snake when it has to molt, and then it's just coming out of that dry shell of itself, and it's getting bigger and everything's scraping itself against rocks and all this other just ugly stuff. But eventually to reach its goal of being a big old snake that can eat somebody, it's gotta go through that process. So because the bottom line is, if you're going to grow, you're gonna have to enter your stretch zone. You're gonna have to do something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable until that becomes comfortable. Mm-hmm. Now that reverts into your zone 1. So it's a continual process. There's you don't get to stop and just be like, all right, cool, I did it. That mindset will lead you right back to the comfort zone where where your dreams are gonna go and just keel over. So, okay, so the goal here is to stretch yourself until that becomes part of your comfort zone. When you're able to do that, that's when you can look back and say, finally, growth has occurred. But it's a cycle, so you're gonna have to learn how to do that all over again, so you're not just comfortable and kind of coasting.
Now we're gonna be talking about zone 3. That is the stress zone. So this is a zone you do not want to enter into. Kind of rehashing a little bit what we were talking about. There's the comfort zone where we feel good. There's the stretch zone where we feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you know, we're moving, we're growing, we're doing things, so we got to do this. And then there's the stress zone where you are just beyond your comfort zone. You just too much.
Yeah, so you're completely outside of your element, right? If you're a shy kid in school, right? Think of that presentation that you had to make in front of the whole class, right? Or God forbid, the whole school. And you lost your appetite, right? You weren't sleeping the night before. Your parent, what's wrong? And it's like, oh, I have this thing for school. And they try to help you through it. And you probably learned 1, 2 things coming away from it. 1, that you never want to do that again. Or 2, like, maybe I can do it, but I prefer not to. So you didn't grow from that experience necessarily because it was way more than you're able to chew, at that young age. Just jump in front of everybody and so that's kind of your stress zone, right?
So application-wise, I'm going to give you a little example. So say you're shy. So normally you go out there the whole day not saying hi to anybody, just being in your own comfort zone. You know you're good there, but you're not going to grow. You're not going to make any friends. You're just kind of stuck. So if you want to move forward, you got to stretch yourself a little bit. What that might look like is pass by someone, say hi. If saying hi is too much for you, just start with a smile. You're going to start doing these little steps until you start feeling comfortable with them, and then you can move on to asking how they're doing and starting to have a whole conversation with them. Now, what you don't want to do is, if you can barely even smile at someone, is you don't want to go to the CEO of a company and just have a full-blown conversation. That's not going to work out for you well. You're going to be traumatized, and you're probably never going to want to do it again. So start small, like what Sheldon was saying, until you make that your comfort zone, and then stretch yourself a little bit every day.
All right, we want to thank you guys for tracking along with us. If you've made it this far and you found some value in this video, maybe a tip or 2 that you can take away, go ahead and hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to our channel if you like the content. Make sure to hit the notification bell so that you're alerted when we upload. We upload right now at a pace of 1 video a week, so we're not going to spam your post notes. Also, feel free to comment your ideas, some tips maybe that you have, or even some topics that you'd like us to cover in the future. We are completely open to dialogue and interacting with you guys. Also, maybe if you started on your own entrepreneurial journey, or you're thinking about starting your own business or something like that, and you're not exactly sure where to begin, maybe we can help you, at the very least point you in the right direction, so you can reach out to us at connect@victorymarketingconsulting.com.
You too can live in victory. We'll see you in our next video.